Hello, welcome to excelexperts.com. Today we're looking at the compare to dataset utility. If you want to download it, go to excelexperts.com, search the site for compare to datasets. You'll get to this here and you can read more about it. You can download the files at the bottom. So click on there, save it to your C drive, same for all of the three, and then open it up from your C drive and you'll get exactly the same setting I've got here. So we want to compare two data sets, so let's have a look at them. So if I copy that, open, paste, I go back here, copy, open, paste. So here are our two data sets. The example I've used is for broker confirmations. Now if you've ever worked in operations or trade confirmations, this is a really arduous task and prone to errors, but it's extremely important. If you get a trade wrong and it goes into the system wrong, then it can lead to enormous P&L swings and people can get fired. So this utility can save you a lot of heartache, get you home early, and hopefully it will work for you. So what we've got, two data sets in different rows, different columns, the headings are different. Essentially what they're trying to tell us are the trades that were done today. So we did 100 of that bond and I'm the trader. Okay, this one has more information, it's got the date as well, but essentially these should match up. And if we were to eyeball them, what we'd say is, okay, that bond there, 100, that compares to, there we go. This one, well, I can't find that amount anywhere in here, so that one seems to be incorrect. 124, well, that amount, we got the bond, but the amount looks different. So anyway, eyeballing this can take you hours. Especially if you've got a lot of trades to go through. So click here, single click, boom, 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 and you get the results. So the results are, if you've got a red row, it means that it couldn't find that entry in the other data source. So in this case, data source 1 has this bond, has this trade, but it's missing from data source 2. And same for this one. And for this one, it's in data source 2, but it's missing from 1. Here, we found the trade, but the amount is different. And here, we didn't find the trade at all, and this one matches up perfectly. So a lot of problems with these two data sets, and they're all highlighted in red. So let's have a look at what you're actually entering. So you need to tell this system exactly where the data is and how to calculate the various things it's going to do. So the heading row, this is the row in which the headers are on. So if I open this, I'm going to map this up. So heading row, I've entered 2. That means this row. These headers are in row 2. Calculate last row from column 3. What that means is, I know that the third column is always populated right down to the end. So I'm going to use that in order to calculate the last row. So in this case, that's my last row, 6. And that might be empty. That might be empty, that might be empty. But this one will always be populated. It's very important, otherwise you'll get the wrong comparison. The unique key is in column 4. So unique key, that is the bond. That's the thing that we're comparing. That's the thing that I want to essentially exist in both files. The main comparison column, so this is the amount. So we know the bond, and we want to compare the amount traded, so 100 million or whatever, and that is in this column here. This is used at the end to sort the data so that we don't pick off, let's say that there were lots of trades in this bond here, we don't want to accidentally pick off the wrong ones. So if there were 100 and a 200, we don't want to compare the 200 to the 100 and the 100 to 200 and say that there are two problems, because there clearly aren't. Then same for workbook 2, but we don't list the key or the main comparison. We assume that the key is the key that is relevant to both. And then here's a link to the output file. Whenever a file is created, it will link. The link will be created there. And here's the mapping. So what we said at the beginning was that we could have any headings in any different columns. So what we said here is I want to compare only these 3 columns in data source 1. So I'm ignoring date because it just doesn't exist in this data source here. Date is ignored. So bond is in column 4 on compare 1, and in compare 2 it's in column 3. So that I'm comparing this column here with this column here. Doesn't matter what the headings are, I'm telling it what to do. 5 compares to 2, 6 compares to 4. And there you have it. So you can add as many columns to compare as you like. I've just formatted this, but essentially it'll go down until it's hits a blank. This system will work depending on your inputs, and the results it will give you will be as good as your inputs. So check them, make sure they're good, because otherwise you will get an error or you will get the wrong results. You've been listening to excelexperts.com on how to compare 2 datasets.